Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, I'll be talking about episode 9 of The Real Housewives of Lagos. So this episode opens up with Tania, who invites Yabo to go with her to her tattoo appointment. So Yabo shows up earlier than Tania, so she has to wait for Tania, who comes in later, trying to greet her, and Yabo has this straight face on. And Tanya is like sort of kneeling down and apologizing for keeping her waiting and all of that. So yeah. So after the whole apology and greeting bit was done, they got talking, and Yaba was telling Tanya that that we even have us to settle that I'm not happy with you. And Tanya was like, what did she do? She was like, that you were aware that I was traveling, but yet you still decided to, organize a night out with the ladies, and Chioma won't allow her hear the last of it, that she had so much fun, this. Then Tanya was not telling her that don't worry, that I will take you out specially, we'll have your own night out and all of that. And the night was really fun to what happened with Mariam and Chioma happened. Yabo was now saying that Mariam made it seem like it wasn't an issue, wasn't a big deal. So Tanya was just talking to Iyabo about the argument inspired at the book reading. As they got talking, Tanya said that she doesn't really understand what's up with Miriam, like why she's acting the way she's acting, and whether she wants to be the center of attention, she wants people to talk about that kind of thing, and that she knows she's been trying to get a child, and she didn't expect her to make that kind of comment. And Iyabo now also said her own thing, that she struggled to have her first baby, and now she's struggling to have her own second baby, and making that kind of comment towards Chioma and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I feel like these things that Iyabo is spilling is something Mariam must have told her in confidence. It's not something that you should just be dishing out anyhow. Like, it's something like private information about somebody, regardless of how she's been acting or whatever. Yeah. So basically, Iyabo was just taking Chioma's side, regardless of whatever was done, or whether Chioma was at fault or she contributed to the whole back and forth thing. But she was just in her stance that Mariam should not have said what she said, indirectly saying Chioma is childless and all those stuff. So as they got talking now, Iyabo now brought up the thing of, oh, that she invite Dr. Romeo to the event, and if Iyabo is on your side, she's for you. She doesn't care what anybody else says. She's going to stick by you. So, and obviously with the way the episodes have been progressing, it's very glaring that there's something there that she doesn't like about Faith, or there's an issue we are yet to see on her end. Because regardless of whatever Tanya was saying, she was just like, Dr. Remy is a nice guy. He has a good spirit. Faith doesn't have a good spirit. So whatever Faith has to say, she doesn't care. Dr. Remy is this, is my guy. I'm going to stick by him, stick by his side. And Tanya, she's a bit wishy-washy. So after Iyabo said all she had to say now, next minute she was like, yeah, before I was on Dr. Roma's side. After listening to Faith's part of the story, I was on her side, but now I'm on nobody's side. And they just laughed about it and went on with the rest of their day. So after that clip, now we get to see Chioma at her photo shoot. I think she's shooting for GQ magazine or something. So she's there just getting her poses and all of that done. Photographer is taking his pictures. Then somebody sends her a bouquet of flowers, and she reads out the card to us. And it's like, who will send these? Like, she doesn't have an idea who. She doesn't know a person in particular. So as she was at the photo shoot, this actor Esodike came to the photo shoot to just say hi and if she got the flowers. And with that whole clip play, it just reminded me of what Miriam said in the previous episode of, how Chema pays actors to act like her boyfriend. It was just really funny that after that comment was made in the previous clip, the next scene we get to see an actor, coming to, yeah, but so they're just like talking, and I was like, oh, I told you we went to the same law school, this, that. I don't really see the essence of that clip. I don't really. It was a bit odd. The conversation wasn't gelling like that. It wasn't really giving. They had a little talk about, actually knew you when you were in law school. So he opens the yearbook and shows her da 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 da. Then that was it. Sha. So after that whole photo shoot bit, we get to see Toyin. So Toyin is working on an art exhibition. So Hermes happens to be one of the dancers that would be working for her there, as well as a bunch of other people. So she was just trying to tell him the vision she has in her head so he can bring it to life. And she's just saying how she feels Hermes is the perfect person that will be able to interpret what she has in mind. And yeah, just talking about work and every like her plans for the act exhibition. So after that clip, then we get to see Tania in work mode, as a fashion designer. So she's working on a collaborative piece or a collaborative project with Larry De Silva, who is another top fashion designer in Nigeria. So she's really, really amazing. And Tanya was just so gassed and excited that, Larry the Silva actually agreed to, collab with her for this project. She was just very grateful. And she was like, when she put the call across her, she didn't really expect, her to say, okay, let's go ahead. So just like putting pieces together, looking at the fabrics that will be used, looking at the sketches, just bringing everything to light. So it was just nice seeing Tanya in her, clothes elements, her fashion designer work mode. So after that, we get to see Toyin. Toyin takes a trip home. She goes on a trip back to Ife. So she talks about, the road trip, going all the way there, how she really enjoys eating street food. And one thing about a road trip is you have to eat the food on the road. She was just so excited, to be going back home to the palace to see her aunt, who is Queen Ronke, and they just got talking, and her aunt was also very excited to see her because according to her, she has been telling Toyin to come to Ife, to come, but Toyin has been giving her one excuse or the other. So she was really, really excited that Toyin finally shows up, and they just got talking. They were walking about the palace, and her auntie was giving her like a brief like history and just talking about some of the artifacts they have in the palace, and just talking to her about the paintings, the pictures, like the people that ruled several years back, and it was just like a brief history of the kingdom, Sha. So yeah, after that, she now also talked to her auntie how she would like to, host the ladies. Once she wants the ladies to see the royal side of her, she wants the ladies to experience Ife. And her auntie was like, okay, that's nice, no problem. That it will be an honor to host them. And so that was just it now. So after that bit, we get to see Toyin on video call with Laura, because Laura apparently won't be able to make it to Ife. So Toyin was just telling her that how she would have really wanted her to be there, but it's fine, she understands. And that although Laura is one of the people that has been very, very excited to come to Ife, but she make out another time for her to come, meet the queen, meet the king, and just enjoy the whole vibe in the palace. So yeah, so also Faith was unable to come down for the Ife trip because she had to take her son back to school. Next clip, we get to see Toyin and her aunt, discussing on a piece or something she's working on for her aunt. So she just did like some really fast sketches, like putting some ideas she has to just show her auntie. And her auntie was really, really like impressed with the sketches and was like, oh, that okay, she has an appointment, but she would see more of her ideas later. So yeah, so after that, the ladies now come to Ife. There's a grand welcoming ceremony for them. There's music, there are dancers. Mariam comes, Tania and Iyabo. So Toyin comes to greet them. Everybody was just, the vibe was just light. Everybody was having fun. Toyin was just happy, like everybody came through. So she was just very excited to just let the ladies enjoy the Ife culture, the royal culture, that kind of thing. Like later on, when Chioma comes in and she was like, oh, that she wouldn't miss, although she's coming from the UK, but she would not have missed this trip for anything. So she just, as soon as she got to Lagos, she just started coming, immediately. So and all of that. So Jane was really appreciative of the fact that okay, you actually honored my invitation, and regardless of how affected your schedule, but yeah, thank you for coming and stuff. So Choma was like, that she really likes the Yoruba culture. She wants to experience it, the richness of royalty, and just talking, sha. So then, Toyin takes her to her room. So as she's there now, she puts a call through to Dr. Romel, and they're just talking, and she's like, "Where are you?" And he was like, "Oh, he's at his office." And she was like, "Oh, you're not in Lagos, right?" And he was like, "He's in Atlanta." And we're just talking, and Choma was like, "Oh, let me see your office." So he was giving her a quick tour of his office, and Choma was like surprisingly impressed. She didn't. I don't know what she expected his office to be, or I don't know how she saw Dr. Romel for her to act very, very surprised at what he was showing her. And just talking, and she was like, "Oh, that we are fair, like, Toyin brought us out here, the ladies. Everybody is here except for the people that had to travel. I'm excited to see everybody else except Miriam. I don't care whether she's here or not." And Dr. Rima was like, "What happened now?" That kind of thing. And Chima was like, that she will talk about it later. She's not ready to just talk like they'll watch. She said some things that she's not over, and they will address it later, sort of thing. Now. So after their phone conversation, then the ladies all get dressed to go, meet with the king. So they are all seated. Then the Queen Ronke is telling the ladies that, okay, that once the king comes in, we're supposed to kneel on both knees and not greet him like KBAC. Everybody was like, okay, no, like they get the message. So everybody was just seated. Then the king comes in all his glory, and everybody does what the queen told them to do. And then the king sat down, and the queen was introducing everybody to the king by name. And when they got to Iyabo, so the king was like, it's not the actress, the one that is the troublemaker on social media. I was like, hey. So after that, everybody sat down. So the king was sort of giving the ladies like wise words, like words of wisdom, telling them how women are powerful and they are of great influence. And he made a comment of how women are witches and they have the power to manipulate, and they can manipulate in a good way if they want to. Just speaking to them about peace and unity. And I'm like, these women, would they live in peace and unity? These ones are like bad bulls anyhow. But yeah, he was just giving them king's wise words of wisdom. So after that, he now had to excuse them. So yeah, so they were just being entertained. Like there was good music, good, like everybody was just, I think they were having a celebration of some sort, because there was a lot of activities, and everybody was just sitting down like in their royal apparel, just acting like queens and in their own right. I was super excited. She was living for this, like she was in her own heaven. The whole vibe, everything was just calm. Everybody was just having a good time. Then they got to lunch, so they were eating. Then the queen had to, excuse herself, and she had to apologize because the king was on. He won't be able to join them for dinner. And yeah, so that was what happened there. So after that, I think the next day or so, so the ladies went to the adire store to make adire. Yeah, so the queen wanted to teach them or show them how she goes about making this adire. Chioma, Toyin, Iyabo, and Tania all show up except Miriam. So everybody was really excited, and they were all dressed very casually, and they were like, Chioma was like, am I supposed to greet you? Am I supposed to kneel down to greet you? That kind of thing. And the king was like, no, 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 it's okay. And Chioma was like, no, that's how she now knelt down to greet the queen, and everything was just very calm. So they all got into making their own particular fabric, this design that they wanted to go for, how they would tie it with the dye, and everybody's piece came out very looking very nice. So although it was their first attempt at adire. So that was it now. So the last scene is the drama scene. So apparently, there was sort of an intervention for Miriam. So Toyin had organized all the ladies to just come and just talk, like to just address certain issues, that kind of thing now. So Tanya and Chioma were the first to arrive. Then Miriam comes in. So they didn't greet themselves. So they were just both in their corners, throwing face. And Diana was like, oh, that Miriam came and met them here, so she's supposed to have greeted them, sort of thing. And Miriam, she didn't even send anybody, she just sat down there. Then Yabo and Toyin come to join them. So as the conversation starts, Toyin is like, that she wants to address certain things like towards Miriam, that she has like things she wants to address. And they get talking, and she's like, she had spoken to Chioma, although we didn't see when they had a conversation or whatever, but apparently they had a conversation, a lengthy conversation. And from the conversation, because Yabo seemed pretty upset, but it seemed like Miriam had been saying things behind her back, and something about the comment of how Toyin has been acting condescending towards Mariam. So she was asking her that this is what Chioma said, kind of thing. And Mariam was like, she never said that she said that. And the thing was just going back and forth. Then Yabo now owned up and said she was the one that threw out the condescending word because, yes, the three of us had a conversation and your name came up. And that Miriam was saying that she doesn't like how you've been treating her, how you make her feel, and she didn't have a word for how she was feeling, how to express what she wanted to express. And I told her, oh, you mean Toyin is condescending towards you? And yeah, so that was where the word came from. And Miriam agreed. So like Yabo like took over ownership of, oh, I said this word, and that was how the word came up. Then Chima was like, then that why would Miriam say it was me that said it? This. At a point the argument was just not adding up. There was a lot going on. Then before you know, after that part now, there's the whole um Miriam and Chioma bit where Miriam is trying to address what she said, and in doing so, she's telling Iyabo that, because apparently Iyabo is the mommy of the group, so she's telling Iyabo that she didn't mean it in the way it seemed. Like she just said it because, oh, Chioma was actually cussing her out, and the kids were downstairs, and she didn't want to argue, she didn't want to go back and forth, she didn't want to shout in front of the kids, that kind of thing. And Chioma just went, "Are you talking to me? Don't talk to me like I wasn't there." Before, like things were just looking very crazy. And at a point, Miriam got up and she was like, she's going to leave. And Chioma was like, she should leave, because Chioma wasn't letting Miriam get her point across. Then Yaba and Toyin were telling her to come back, and she should just let her talk, that Jema should come and let her talk, let her say her piece, kind of thing. And as that was going on, like everything was just cha 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 cha. You get, like, it wasn't in sequence. Then before you know, at a point you see Toyin and Miriam are back at it. That Miriam said that Toyin said that, can see what Chama and Yaba are trying to do. They're trying to break them up, or we're trying to put a wedge between them, or something along those lines. And it was very, very ridiculous how things went between Toyin and Miriam, because I didn't really expect that. Because mind you, the previous episode, where they met at the game center and they got talking, it seemed like they were good. Because I feel like if these two people are actually friends, if they had an issue, they would have, approached it one on one, like spoken to each other about it, not it turning into this fiasco that it is right now. They got talking, and the argument was just looking very, very silly. It was like, okay, Tony's own thing was like, I don't like the fact that you call yourself my friend and you're not loyal to me. You say this behind my back. You gossip about me to people. This, that. And Miriam's own thing was that she didn't say anything. She didn't gossip. She didn't do this one. Everything was just funny. And Chioma and Tania, as well as Yabo, they were just sitting down there, just enjoying the drama unfold between these two supposed friends. And at a point, it got very, very heated because it got physical. To a point, Toyin was shoving Miriam. Then before Miriam is telling them to zip down her dress. She wants to strip herself and fight. And I'm like, it didn't need to get this heated. It didn't need to get physical. Like they could have just continued with their verbal insults, their verbal argument, and just gone. But the point where this one is flinging phone and jumping here and it wasn't adding up. I'm like, okay, so what's the cause of the fight? You guys have been friends for over 17 years or more, and you're fighting yourself because of what? So no, the fighting was really, really funny. Like I didn't expect it at all. I feel like Toyin should not have had that intervention or had that conversation with Miriam in the presence of those ladies, because I think they should just have both sat down in the confines of their room or privately to talk about whatever Chema had told her, whatever Iyabo had told her, whatever Toyin had actually heard that Miriam said. The same way she had the conversation with Laura and said, okay, if I hear this, I'll tell you here. That kind of thing. But I feel like there was so much already. I think there were certain things building up in their friendship that she just didn't see the need to talk to her one on one, or she didn't expect things to escalate so much. But yeah, that fight clip was just a lot. It was just really, really crazy. So yeah, that was how the episode ended. Then Toyin left. Then like the whole fight was everybody was trying to separate them. Two men came behind the scenes to try and separate them. Ladies were also trying to separate them, and they were just going at it, going at it, going at it, like, so yeah, so that was it. That was it. Toyin is saying on one end that she's done with the friendship. She can't be friends with somebody that's trying to tarnish her image and her reputation and what. Miriam on her own end is saying that why would Toyin want to get physical with her? That at this point all bets are off. She's not having any form of friendship with Toyin. Like, so that was it. Like, although Miriam has been a lot this season, I don't think they handled the situation very well. Like, the both of them, they could have handled it better. So in the next clip, I think there's going to be drama between Laura and Iyabo. So we'll get to see that. That's it about episode 9. So if you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button, like, share, and leave a comment. Check out my other videos that I will link. And yeah, see you in my next video. Bye.